Today we're going to talk about how to create a table of contents using Google Docs. So let's say you have a pretty lengthy report or document. And within your document, you have a lot of different sections. You have conclusion, reference page, etc. And you want to make it a little bit easier for your reader to maneuver and to find various things within your document without having to scroll up and down, back and forth. You can create a table of contents. So as you can see on your screen, I have a lengthy document and I have an area called table of contents that I provided right there. I have my different sections, section 1, 2, 3, etc. But it's a lot of pages. And I don't want my reader to actually have to scroll up and down and find specific subsections and things like that. So I want to create an easy to reference table of contents for my readers. I provide the words table of contents right there. It's your preference. If you don't want to have that there, you don't have to. But I wanted to kind of have a designated area for my readers to easily locate the table of contents. So I have my table of contents right there. And the first thing I should do is first change all of my text styles to header styles. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit to my first section and find my first section number 1. And highlight the words that I would like to add to my table of contents. So as you can see, I've highlighted it. And in my menu bar up here, where my text style is, in between my zoom and my text fonts, I'm going to see the text style normal text. That is just your basic default text style. But for my table of contents, all of my headers must be in the heading text style. So I'm going to come to my drop down and click that. And I can now choose one of my heading styles from right here. I'm going to just choose heading number 1 and apply that text style to my header. I'm going to want to do that for every single header that I would like to include into my table of contents. So I have my section number 1 there. I'm going to go down to my section number 2, same steps, highlight that, go to my drop down, click heading number 1. It's been changed. Come to my next one. So it's just kind of like a rinse and repeats. Highlights, drop down, heading number 1, it's been changed. Final steps, my last works cited section, highlight that, drop down, heading number 1, and it's been changed as well. So I now have all of my headers changed to the correct format for my table of contents. And now it's easy as 1, 2, 3. So depending on where you want your table of contents to live, you're going to want to click and place your cursor there. So I want my table of contents to be directly underneath my label or section that says table of contents. My cursor's there. And I'm going to now go to my menu at the very top and click the menu option insert. And then towards the bottom, I have a little area that says table of contents. If you hover over the words table of contents, it will give you 2 preferences. So this part is for those who kind of like a more of a streamlined look or a more of a blue kind of internet look. You have the first option, which is with page numbers. There isn't any color. It's very streamlined, kind of classic looking. It's black and white, simple text. The other option is with the hyperlinks. There are not any actual page numbers, just the hyperlink that takes you directly to that section. So that part really depends on the user. I'm going to choose the blue hyperlink preference. And you'll see my table of contents will pop up right there. And you'll see that all of my sections that I created with my headers are now there as well. Now, let's say I'm working and I realize that I need another section. Like, okay, 3 sections are great, but I may need another section for my readers. And I want to add a section number 4. So I'm going to come down here and add section number 4 just for an example. And I've added it. Okay, great. Let's go back up to our table of contents. But wait, it's not there. What's going on? I have to change my text to header. Don't forget. So I have to come back down to my section, highlight the same little steps, highlight my words, go to my text style, click my drop down, and then choose one of my headers. I'm going to change it to heading number 1 again, and then come back up to my table of contents. Oh, it still isn't there. What's going on? I have to actually refresh it and update my table of contents and tell Google, hey, I have a new section. So I'm going to click in that area, and then next to my area, I have a little refresh button. And when I hover over that, it tells me to update my table of contents. When I click that button, my table of contents will update and my section is right there. And so when your readers come to your document or your reports, they can come here and they see that you have multiple sections, and maybe they want to just jump straight down to your conclusion. They'll click the word conclusion, and then they have a little hyperlink right there. Click that, and voila, they are brought directly to your conclusion section.